Okay, so that's gonna... I'm just gonna loop a bunch of non-romancers. Repulse sorcerers. I like non-romancy, though. It's the opposite of love magic. Oh, God. That is too good and too creepy. And I don't like it, but here we are. Okay. So what we want to do is more or less just get a smelter here. Okay, here, probably. Is that enough space? Yeah, it's vaguely enough space. So I'm actually going to use the exact same layout, I think, that I used for my coal mines with the copper here. Oh, interesting. These things can go off the side. That's handy. Let's see, Melvin's Lingering Touch. Let's see, 2d6 of grease damage. No. Melvin's Lingering Touch is a debuff. Probably sickened. And it also functions like the grease spell. But also is flammable. So, like, you can be set on fire. You know, that's actually something I'm really disappointed with in D&D. Combo effects are... Whoops, what am I doing? Combo effects just don't exist. And that actually makes me kind of upset. Okay, so... Oh. That has no power. So this actually... We need a splitter here. We need 2 of these. Is that too close together? No. But I always bring up Divinity Original Sin with these things, but I will continue to do so anyway. I'm forever disappointed that, I'm forever disappointed that, like, Dungeons & Dragons doesn't have, like, weaknesses and, like, spell combination effects. I'm sure it would probably take forever to write and whatnot, but, like, you know, I really wish there were specific rules for stuff like grease, setting things on fire. Let's see. So, like, how do I describe it? Well, I mean, obvious. It should be kind of obvious with a spell like grease. You'd think it would be flammable. It certainly used to have that rule. Kind of. It did. But like, it didn't have it enough, and I feel like more things should have had that. Like comboing, for example, control weather with ice storm. Should absolutely have some effects. Or lightning bolts. You know, if you manage to make a bunch of enemies wet beforehand, oh baby. If you manage to make a bunch of enemies wet beforehand, it'll actually make it so, like, you get a light chain lightning effect or something. And, like, I realize that DMs can kind of affect this sort of thing and, like, come up with their own homebrew combinations, but I'd love to see some official rules, or at least ideations on the topic. And maybe there is a book for this, and I've just never seen it. But, like, I feel like there's so much potential for D&D to have that sort of thing. Because that would be really rad. If I could straight up say, like, hey, let me consult the, or, you know, if I was a player and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna combine, you know, grease and fireball. So not only does the fireball blast everybody, sets everybody on fire for a bunch of damage, and you know the burning scales a little bit based on the origin spell. That's actually something that always bothers me about D&D. Setting an enemy on fire only does 1d4 damage per second, or not second, per round, which like I guess is really deadly to commoners, but it sucks when it comes to like actual tactical combat. Yeah, grease plus fireball is napalm. It's something to that extent. See, what did I also miss? Oh, yeah. Right. Thank you, Mathraka, for the 9-month resub. Great job. Thank you for your content. Hey, thank you for your support. Thank you so much. Also, let's see. Wander, would you ever do Divinity Original Sin as DMing? No. For one, I actually am not that interested in putting together my own campaigns in, say, Divinity Original Sin. It would actually probably take maybe less time, but it wouldn't feel as good. I would rather make a fully custom D&D campaign than shackle myself to a tool set that might not have everything that I want, if that makes sense. Because, like, it would be really cool. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, Can I chuck coal in here? No, I can't. Okay. I feel like this episode might be called Melvin's Lingering Touch. There's a chance. The problem is, like, I tend to bounce around, a lot when trying to, like, name episodes, and so I might straight up just miss Melvin's Lingering Touch as a potential name. Let's see. So what else do we do? I mean, honestly, I'm waiting for the pod to return. At this point, we want to do a lot of science. I guess we should probably get an assembler. So I need 3 rotors. Let's see, what about using Tabletop Simulator for D&D? Have you heard of U-Realms? D&D like made by a group of YouTubers. Tabletop Simulator might be an option, but I don't know if it's any better than, like, Roll20. It might actually be worse in a lot of ways. At least for me. Just because I need a lot of flexibility for custom artwork and stuff. I think Roll20 is better in a lot of situations, yeah. My one problem is I don't like the management at Roll20. They're very much like silence people that have legitimate criticisms. There was a controversy about them a while back. I realize I'm a hypocrite for saying this. But apparently there was somebody that had been criticizing them online. And they proceeded to ban not only him, but every single other account with a similar name to his own from Roll20, regardless of if they're paying members. And then also ban said usernames from their Discord as well. And yeah, Fantasy Grounds might be one that I look into. If I remember right, Fantasy Grounds was expensive, but we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do for my next campaign. Hell, my next campaign might actually even be in person. I'd prefer not to, but it is a potential. Let's see, what do I need for more modular frames? Just more reinforced iron plates. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start grabbing these. But, so, like, after the whole snafu of them just banning anybody that questioned them, but also had similar names for people to question them, I've been a little bit leery about doing anything else on Roll20, just because it's not how you handle things. And yeah, I get that I'm kind of pro-censorship, but there's a difference between banning people that call you autistic and banning people that are like, hey, by the way, like, your grid system's kind of busted, here's why. And they're like, no, and then shut it down. Okay, question. We need screws and plates. Let's see, I'm no financial state to give advice, so you may want to try the more expensive option just to see what it's like. Absolutely, that's why I was thinking of trying Fantasy Grounds next time around. Potentially, or some of the other ones. I don't know. Let's see. So, I'm going to want to make modular frames, rotors, and reinforced iron plates, to some degree. This is where we might get spaghetti. Because, effectively, we're going to need screws for some of this. Oh, boy. Yeah, it can be if you're a DM, but your DM buys all the stuff and everyone else can use it. Yes. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was hoping, you know, I'll probably check with the, summer sale. The one other problem is, I'm probably going to want to do my next campaign at, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I don't know if that's going to be as supported. Or, maybe it is, if they're smart. Because I want to do, I'd like to do a series on 2nd Edition for when it comes out. This summer, actually. Yeah, that'll probably be when, like, I really start doing D&D again. No matter what. Even if it is a small group. Let's see. So would the next campaign involve Vivek or any of the other new pals? I honestly have no idea. I'd have to ask around. Mainly because, you know, obviously some of them already have campaigns that they're in, and some of them might not be that into D&D. And I might actually have to actively make new friends to bring into D&D to, I don't know. Anyway, also thank you MechDragon MK for the extra 95 bits. But yes, Vivek is hilarious, and I'd like to include him in stuff. The one problem is time zones are weird problems. Let's see. Does Waterbot put his streams on YouTube? Google me. I think you're gonna get YouTube more than anything. I bet Stumped wouldn't mind. They run their own D&D, so they're no stranger to it. It's scheduling problems. I don't want to overtax people. That's my one fear with being like, hey, you want to do a D&D campaign with me as well? Because it's like, you know, I don't know, and I should probably actually straight up ask. But I am nervous about everything, just because. Let's see. So what am I trying to do? I mean, effectively, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add that to the to-do list. I'm going to add this to the to-do list. Oh, balls. That doesn't show it off the way I want it to. Can I clear this? What I was hoping is I could actually have 3 of them just so I could keep the recipe in mind. Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, I've already had one friend group blow up in my face in the past year, so I'm trying to keep it light, just because. Okay, ask Google about Fantasy Grounds and Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It looks like a yes. Cool. Okay, so why don't we start with the reinforced iron plates? That's the easiest one. It's just iron plates and screws. The only problem is the screws are on the opposite side of the iron plates, and okay, at least I kept this nice and organized. Once burned, twice shy. Very true. Let's see. So we're going to need to pull the screws over from else. Shoot. You know what? I've got a notepad next to me. I don't know if I have a pen, but I'm actually going to write this stuff down. But I need a light on because it's dark as shit in here. Okay, I am back. Just remember that For the King is a great game for imploding future friend groups. 2 times in a row, it's imploded your friend groups. Very true. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna write these down. I realize that it's not actually that important to write it down, but I want to have the formulas in mind, working here. Okay. Let's see, run the screws or plates under the platform. Shit, that's a good idea. Especially because we're on a floating platform, so of course we could do that. What I actually should be doing, though, before anything like that. Conveyor walls? Yeah, we want conveyor walls. I need iron plates. Let's go grab those. Let's see, so Wander, have you moved into your new place yet? Yes, I'm in my new office. We've been here for 19 days, actually. We moved in on the 1st of March. Reminds me I gotta send off rent before I go to PAX, because it's gonna be hard paying that from a distance.
Milestone reached. To ensure optimal use of space, navigation and tidiness, R&D have developed stairs and conveyor walls.
The only problem is, God, I really wish this game had elevators. It would be nice. Let's see. But yeah, no, definitely probably avoiding For the King. Though I don't think it was For the King necessarily. It was a lot of other stuff. Usually almost not entirely external to me. But still. Okay, so I'm going to write this down. So a reinforced iron plate is 4. I gotta get a shorthand for this. So 4 iron plates and 24 screws. Let's see, a rotor is 3 iron rods and 22 screws. Oh, that's weird, dumb, bad math. And a modular frame. Is 3 reinforced iron plates and 6 iron rods. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to go full efficiency on this. Though I guess if it backs up, that's not a big deal. Okay. Oh, is it already back? It is. Let's keep doing science then. Let's see. We have jump pads and we do have walkways. We also have logistics Mark II. We should probably get this. The conveyor pole being stackable would actually be a huge help. Let's see. I have 20 rotors just sitting around. And I have almost enough cable. Let's get some more. I'll want to automate some cable production at some point. But yeah, no, we've been in this new house for a little while so far. It's nice. The dogs barking are driving us up the wall a little bit. Hopefully Hopefully they'll die down or somebody else will get pissed about it while, like, I'm on vacation. But otherwise, like, it's a nice house. My current office is about the size of half my apartment. At least, you know, the functional part of my apartment. Back in Kansas. So, I have a lot of room for, I mean, more or less activities and a bunch of other things. It's nice. And I can even fit, like, a couch and a TV in. The one thing is, because of the dogs, we might have to move me into a different bedroom and move our, like, sleeping arrangements in here. But this is where the cars go by, so, like, people with loud bass and stuff, and it sucks. I don't know. We'll see. At least the dog doesn't bark late at night. That's like, the one silver lining. Because it's like, yeah, it's obnoxious listening to a dog bark. But it was way, way harder to listen to an industrial facility while trying to go to sleep. Like, wee. God, that was awful. Huh. I don't remember that fist animation.
Milestone reached.
That's cool.
We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation.
Let's see, wonder you could always semi-soundproof. Yes, I could. I should? I would like to. Okay, so we're gonna... Oh god, do I have enough inventory space for that? I probably don't. Let's just not. Wait, no. I should move this further out. Get a louder dog of your own. You're not wrong. Okay, so these are just stackable. So I can just stack these over on top of everything. I could run it under, but I think I'm going to run it over. Okay, they take 2 and get 1. I think, let's just go... Am I out of screws? No. Probably use a little bit more of this. I'm just gonna go make a couple more rotors. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make 3 assembly machines, and then I'm just going to mix and match. This is where the spaghetti starts to happen. I'll untangle it later, probably. But the problem is, like, it was easier to conceive of everything earlier before everything got complicated. Let's see. Well, the one problem is the modular frame actually requires reinforced iron plates as well. Plate iron rod. And then both of them require screws. Oh. I'm running low on iron plates. Also, it looks like we might actually need to amp up our iron plate production. If I'm going to be doing this. Okay. So what do? We want to do, is it logistics? It's stackable conveyor pole. What do you mean floor is too steep? Well, fine. Be that way. What? 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 Go home, you're way drunk. It's on a seam. Oh. I didn't realize that would be a huge issue for this. Let's see. So I'll just set that to 0 for now, because this is going to take some fendangling. Let's see. Well, at least it's organized chaos. Okay, so you're going to be working on these. And you're going to be working on these. Hook it up. Okay, so this produces them very slowly, which is good, because I really don't actually need that many. At least for now. We'll probably need a lot more, and this is going to get really messy. Really fast? I mean, luckily we can increase everything's speed by, like, 200%, which makes a pretty big difference. Okay. So that's what we need. So what do I need for conveyor belt Mark IIs? That. Ugh. Okay, so what's your major malfunction? Oh, you're on standby. Go figure. That's why my iron plate production was kind of bad. Admittedly, still might need to make it better. It looks like screws are going to be the major issue, though. Because this thing's going to empty out quick. We're putting out 90 per minute. We're putting out 180 per minute. How many are we consuming? Yeah. Wow. We're putting out 180 and we're consuming 250. So I gotta work on this. Actually, unless I'm mistaken. This is kind of backed up, but maybe not backed up enough? 120. Oh, well, go freaking figure. Each one of these can surface 4 times as many. Crap, I really did kind of paint myself into a corner here. I've got the room to it. Or the room for it, but I'm gonna have to destroy some things. Alternatively, you get out of there. You two, they're all supplied long enough that this won't be an issue. This is ugly. I am ugly. Okay, so we want to do Q. We want to do production. We want to do a smelter. We want to do the smelter right freaking here. Okay, then we want to do a splitter right here. Approaching on another's clearance, probably. Okay, I gotta go get some more iron plates. Okay. Before it all melts away, because I'm gonna need so many of these. Yeah, eventually we're gonna need greater speed, but right now I have such a supply that, and such a little demand, or such a low demand that